Good evening, peepers. Hello. It's Friday and it's tea time with Friday Reads and Colored Whips. So tonight's tea stash is chocolate mint, one of my favorites of theirs. So, how was everybody's week? Mine has been tiring. This weather's kind of got me feeling blah, depressed type, and haven't felt like making videos because babysitting several days in a row has tired me out. It was fine when Blake was a baby, but now that he's almost 2 and Carson's 4, they keep me hopping and they are tiring me out. So I get home and I am like really super tired. Sorry, I'm taking my tea bag out of my tea cup in a minute. I'm still letting it sit. Yeah, so I get home, I'm feeling tired, and because I'm tired, I don't feel like doing anything, and then I don't feel like doing anything, the things that I want to get done, and then I get a little depressed. So, and as, was it Lockett Todd, you mentioned that I have a lot on my plate. Yes, and so that's why I didn't do videos for a couple times this week, because I need to slow down and I need to take a breather. And I miss you guys. I love making videos, don't get me wrong. The videos themselves don't make me stressed at all. It's wanting time to do other things that I want to do. So, when I have many days in a row of babysitting, then I'm not going to put up videos every night because it's just, I'm tired. So all I wanted to do last night and tonight was just chill out in front of the TV with a remote. My DVR is like 53%. I have like 10 episodes of Supernatural to watch. I just watched 2 tonight. I watched last night's Grey's Anatomy. I watched today's General Hospital. And I have like 8 or 10 episodes of Once Upon a Time I still need to watch. So that's what I'm planning on doing the next few evenings. So yeah, I babysat Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday, today's Friday. I have to babysit tomorrow, Saturday, and then Sunday. And then I have off 2 days. And then I babysit Wednesday, and then I think I have 4 days off in a row. So those days you will see videos. So I am, I'm just going to do what I can, and I'm not going to stress about it anymore. So, I just wanted you all to know that. And I do miss you guys when I don't, because I like reading all the comments. But, excuse me, I have to take care of myself. And because the boys act up, and then I get upset, and then I binge eat, and I have to stop doing that. So, yeah, it's just been one of those weeks. It'll get better, because now that she's in her new place, things are slowing down. And she's not in training anymore, so yeah, after this weekend, it's a lot better. So I wanted to talk to you about the booktubers that I watch. This video will probably be a little bit longer maybe than others, and I think tonight's is going to be more about reading. So the reading booktubers I watch is Dee of Books and Quirks. I really like her. She reads a variety of books. I watch Simon from Savage Reads. He's from the UK. And the funny thing is, I forgot how I found him. And he doesn't just talk about books. He talks about other things he buys. He just got married. His husband is freaking hilarious. I love when he's on his videos sometimes. The thing with Savage Reads is I don't read any of the books he does. Not one. I don't. It's his voice. His voice is so soothing that I can just sit there and listen to him. I don't read any of the books he talks about. I think most of them are from the UK because I've never heard of them. But he also talks about candles and bath bombs, and he does vlogs and goes to the library and the bookstore, and he talks about his life, and it's his voice. I love listening to him. And then I watch Connor O'Brien, and he reads YA fantasy. I like him. He's in college. I think he's going to law school. And he has a husky that is on his videos a lot because he does dog treats with his dog. And then I watch Jen from Reading with Pugs. I love her videos. And she's been reading a lot again like I have. And I've gotten a lot of books that she had recommended or just talked about lately. So I've been reading quite a bit from her. And then I watch Girly Girl Bookworm. And she reads a variety of things. She reads a lot of romance. And in the summer she reads a lot of books that are like have wedding themes in them. And she got married last summer. So she read a lot of wedding themed romance books last year, but she talks about books that sound really good, and I've gotten a few. And then I watch Missy. She is the binge reader, just a binge reader, and she reads mostly horror, and they're mid-grade and YA. Most of them are, but she does read like Stephen King and that. I have read a few books, and I do own a few that she had recommended. And then I watch Jen Talks audiobooks. She reads some, but she mostly listens to audiobooks. And most of them are romance, but she does read a lot of others, but most of it to me is romance. And I like her. She's getting ready to move, so we might not see as many videos, but she does a Friday, reads every Friday. And then I watch Lala from Books and Lala. And she reads a variety of books. Is it Jane? Jane from Bookworm's Buddy. She reads adult books and a few YA. She's a Stephen King fan. John Mayberry. And she likes mysteries. So I like watching her. She doesn't put up as many now as she used to. She ended up getting a full-time job, so she doesn't read like she used to, and she doesn't make the videos like she used to. I also watch, I forget her name, but it's Coffee and Chapters, and she reads a little bit of everything. Katie Tastic, she reads YA, mostly YA. She's funny, and I've read quite a few books she's talked about. I watch Paper Bits, and I really like some of the books she's talked about. And Rebecca of the Book Nester, some of you also know her because she colors. She does coloring on her channel as well. And then I watched the Gwendolyn Reading Method, and she reads mostly romance, all YA, adult, but mostly romance. And I like listening to her. She's fun. So on to reading. So as you knew, last weekend was it was the second weekend of the month, and I'm in the Shadow Lounge readathon, monthly readathon. And so I read, I finished the Dean Koontz book? Nope. I decided not to finish the second Dean Koontz book because I read the first book and I read the third book. And I started reading the second one and I couldn't get into it, so I'm taking that back to the library. But I ended up picking up a book called A Good Killing by Alison Liotta, and I can't remember if Jen mentioned this or Girly Girl Bookworm. Someone I saw on YouTube mentioned this. Oh my gosh. I think I gave this a 4-star. I might have gave this a 5-star. I don't remember. So, and then I found out after I read it that this is the 4th book of a series, but it read like a standalone to me. So it says, how far would you go to save your sister? Anna Curtis is back in her hometown just outside of Detroit. Newly single after calling off her wedding, Anna isn't home to lick her wounds. She's returned to support her sister, Jody, who has been wrongfully accused of murder after their old high school coach, a local hero, is killed in a suspicious car crash. Yeah, I don't even know what to say without giving anything away. But it says, but maybe Jody isn't so innocent after all. The police are convinced that Jody was having an affair with the married coach and murdered him out of jealousy. As Anna investigates with the help of her childhood friend Cooper Bolden, an Afghan war veteran with a secret of his own, she slowly peels back the facade of her all-American town and discovers that no one is telling the truth about the coach, not even the people she thought she knew best. When the town rallies against them, threatening not just Jody's liberty but both sisters' lives, Anna resolves to do everything she can to save her sister and defend the only family she has left. This coach had secrets. He was not a good guy. Just put it that way. So, I can't talk about this too much without giving anything away. But Anna, being a lawyer and her sister not wanting to tell her the truth, she left because she wanted the truth from her sister. And finally her sister does tell her the truth, but yeah. The police they tore her house apart looking for evidence. They found a sock with blood on it. They had that checked. It was the coach's. That's the only thing they found in her house, but they took everything out of her house. They took sinks and pipes, and yeah, it was just a good book. And I read Heartsick by Chelsea Cain. This also was another book that was talked about on BookTube. This is the first book out of 6 books of the series. And I gave this a 5-star. And as soon as I finished this, I went online on my library system, and I put on hold the next 5 books because I have to read them. So this is about a detective who spent 10 years tracking Gretchen Lowell, a beautiful serial killer. But in the end, she was the one who caught him. 2 years ago, Gretchen kidnapped Archie and tortured him for 10 days. But instead of killing him, she mysteriously decided to let him go. She turned herself in, and now Gretchen has been locked away for the rest of her life, while Archie is in a prison of another kind, addicted to pain pills, unable to return to his old life, powerless to get those 10 horrific days off his mind. Archie is a different person, his estranged wife says, and he knows she's right. He continues to visit Gretchen in prison once a week, saying that only he can get her to confess as to the whereabouts of more of her victims. But even he knows the truth. He can't stay away. When another killer begins snatching teenage girls off the streets of Portland, Archie has to pull himself together enough to lead the new task force investigating the murders. A hungry young newspaper reporter, Susan Ward, begins profiling Archie in the investigation, which sparks a deadly game between Archie, Susan, the new killer, and even Gretchen. They need to catch a killer, and maybe somehow then Archie can free himself from Gretchen once and for all. Either way, Heartsick makes for one of the most extraordinary suspense debuts in recent memory. Yeah. If you like those kind of books, the thrillers, psychological thrillers, I highly, highly recommend this. I had to go and put on hold the rest of the books. I don't have them all. I have 3 of them. I have 3 of them. And then I read and finished Warcross by Marie Lu. This was amazing. I gave this a 4-star. If you like Ready Player One and you like playing video games, then I recommend this. I will read this to you. The obsession started 10 years ago, and its fan base now spans the globe, some eager to escape from reality and others hoping to make a profit. Struggling to make ends meet, teenage hacker Emika Chen works as a bounty hunter, tracking down Warcross players who bet on the game illegally. But the bounty hunting world is a competitive one, and survival has not been easy. To make some quick cash, Emika takes a risk and hacks into the opening game of the International Warcross Championships, only to accidentally glitch herself into the action and become an overnight sensation. Convinced she's going to be arrested, Emika is shocked when instead she gets a call from the game's creator, the elusive young billionaire Hideo Tanaka, with an irresistible offer. He needs a spy on the inside of this year's tournament in order to uncover a security problem, and he wants Emika for the job. With no time to lose, Emika's whisked off to Tokyo and thrust into a world of fame and fortune that she's only dreamed of. But soon her investigation uncovers a sinister plot with major consequences for the entire Warcross empire. I loved it. I could not put this down. I had it done in a couple days. It was really good. So if you like games and virtual reality and that, then I recommend that. And then I went through my whole list of books I still need to read on NetGalley. And I thought, well, some of them are old. They've already been out for a while, so I'll see what I can get on audiobook. It's like maybe I can listen when I color or when I'm cleaning or whatever. So I got Never Let You Go by Chevy Stevens. And I am almost 2 hours into this. And it is really, really good. This woman has a daughter, and her ex-husband just got released from prison. He was abusive when they were together, and he ended up going to jail for, I think he killed someone while drinking and driving. And so she found out he was released, and now things are starting to happen where I just started reading it. So things are starting to happen. She called a cop. I think they wanted to believe her. Well, it was a woman cop. She wanted to believe her, but there wasn't anything that they could do. So I want to read more of that. And then I started The House Between Tides by Sarah Maine. It's okay. I'm having a really hard time staying focused I've read 134 pages. It sets in 1910 and then 2010. So it goes back and forth. It says, following the death of her last living relative, Hetty Devereux leaves London and her strained relationship behind for Murlan, her ancestral home in Scotland's Outer Hebrides. She plans to renovate the ruinous house, much to the dismay of the locals. But the shocking discovery of human remains brings her ambitious plans to an abrupt halt. Few clues are left to identify the body, but one thing is certain: this person did not die of natural causes. Hungry for answers, Hetty discovers that Murlan was once the refuge of Theo Blake, the acclaimed painter and naturalist who brought his new bride Beatrice there in 1910. Ancient gossip and a handful of leads suggest their marriage was far from perfect. Beatrice eventually vanished from the island, never to return. And as Theo withdrew from society, his paintings grew increasingly dark and disturbing. What happened between them has remained a mystery, but as Hetty listens to the local stories and studies the haunting paintings produced by Theo during his short-lived marriage, she uncovers secrets that still reverberate through the small island community and will lead her to the identity of the long-hidden body. The body has been found. They are pretty sure it's female because they found a locket. But because it's so old, now they don't know if DNA will be able to help them. So it just goes back and forth, and the Hetty is the owner. She's told that she should just tear down this old house. It's going to cost way too much money. Hetty and the man she's been seeing they date here and there. He's pushing her to turn it into a hotel. And he seems awful pushy and kind of taking over. So I think she's learning that he's not all that he says he is. Okay. So then I also have from the library, "In Every Moment We Are Still Alive" by Tom Malmquist. And this was on someone's video. And I've got The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Now, you know I won't get these all read this week. So, and I don't know if I will get to this because I really want to get to the Chelsea Cain books. So, we'll see. And then I got Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematory by Caitlin Doughty. I'm not sure if I will get to this either. I will start it, and if I don't get into it, I will take it back to the library because I really, really want to read. These are the Chelsea Cain books from Heartsick. I have 4 of them, so I'm waiting for one more. That's it for my reading. On to coloring. So, color-alongs and challenges that are still going on for April. My group is doing the pointillism. I'm not participating in that. I can't I'm not. Someone thought I was doing all of these color-alongs and challenges. No, I'm just informing you of what is out there. I figured if I can keep people informed, they can find 1 or 2 that they really want to do and go ahead and do them. I can't do that. There's no way. And then in my group also, the link is down below in the description. If you click on show more, all my information's down there. And I have a yearly challenge to finish a coloring book. Any coloring book you have to finish this year. You can have 2 pages left in the coloring book. You can have a coloring book you wanted to start this year and finish this year. Any coloring book. I don't know if it was a weekly or 2-weekly challenge for Simple Art for Adults Facebook group in Magical Delights. I didn't get to it, so I don't remember. Molly Harrison Fantasy Art Facebook group is doing a rainbow theme this month. Color in Time Facebook group is doing an Easter theme, a fantasy and mythical creatures theme. They're doing a featured artist of Leslie Smithernail. They're doing a Pretty in Pastels challenge and doing anything handmade besides coloring. Hannah Lynn's Whimsical Facebook group is doing Down the Rabbit Hole from the Princesses in Storybook Darlings book. A Colorful Life Facebook group is doing color with gel pens only. And Pencil Stash Facebook group is doing a one color challenge. On YouTube, Anne from A Colorful Life and Sharon from Sweet Nightingale 1973 are co-hosting doing Intricate Ink Animals in April by Tim Jeffs. Zoe Archer is doing a color lawn in Imagimorphia. Kate's Coloring Haven is doing a color lawn in Tenderful Enchantments, and she finished that. She finished her page. Jessica's Coloring Corner, she had started Imagimorphia. I haven't seen another one by her. And Color and Chat with Sammy, she was going to do Nightfall by Maria Troll, but she couldn't do it. But someone said that she has a color along going on Instagram, a Hannah Lynn color along, so I'm not sure. I don't do much on Instagram. I'm always forgetting to post my pictures. So I'm only showing 5 of my whips. Some of them are just on hold for a while. But if you watch my color along, we are doing Secret Garden. And we are doing the owl, and I decided to do the owl in purple. And I've been using Prismacolor pencils and gel pens and fine liners. So got that going. And then Ivy and Inky Butterfly by Johanna Basford. This is an ongoing project all year long. And we are working on this page here. So all we have left are the strawberries in the cake. And this has been done with polychromos and fine liners and gel pens. That's what we're using on this page. And Intricate Ink Animals in Detail Volume 2 by Tim Jeffs. I didn't finish. Oh, I was watching Zoe color this lionfish, and so I was watching her and coloring it my way using Prisma markers, so I have to finish this. And for the gel pen challenge for the Colorful Life, I'm working in this Creative Coloring Mandalas. And I used only one pink glitter gel pen so far. I need to work on this some more. And I'm still working on my buddy color with Lisa out of Dragon Tales by Anastasia Ellie Caldareva. And Lisa finished hers, and then we're using my Caran d'Ache Pablos. This is all I've got done on this so far. So I'm working with him in browns and reds. And that's it for today. drinking my tea. I'm thinking I'm going to continue watching Supernatural tonight. I don't know. I've watched quite a bit of TV. I might just go play Sims 4. I'm not sure what time it is. It might be like 8:30, 9 o'clock right now, so I might just play Sims 4 for like half an hour till I get really, I'm already tired, but till I get really, really sleepy, and then I'll just go to bed because I have to babysit tomorrow. So, and I only have Blake for half a day. His grandparents, Amber's parents, took Carson overnight, so they're dropping him off at noon tomorrow. So I have Blake only for half a day. So, and I'm hoping it's nice. I can take him outside. So that's all that's going on. And depending on how I feel when I get home tomorrow, I still have to do, tomorrow's Saturday, I still have to do a review of pencils because I don't think I've done that for a couple weeks now because it's just been crazy. And I might do, I might catch up on my reviews on days that I have off and then just upload them on Saturdays to get caught up. Tuesdays, I enjoy doing my Ivy and Inky Butterfly. Those will keep going on. My watercolor Wednesdays, I have to be in the mood to do those. So, if you don't see any for a while, I will continue to do them. I just probably won't do them every Wednesday. Tea time, always. Unless something happens or I'm super, super sick. But these are my favorite videos to do. It's personal. I'm not coloring. I'm just giving you information and recommendations of books to read. And once the warmer weather comes, this will turn to iced tea because I don't drink hot tea in the summer. And I do like to drink twisted tea, which is an alcoholic drink, so I may have them once in a while as well. So I think that's, oh, I went to the library Wednesday night to pick up the books. And I walked in and the librarian goes, "Shalene, come here. I got to show you something. You have to sign up for this." And I said, "What?" And Suzanne says, "We're doing a Create Your Coffee Cup." So it's a plain white coffee cup. And she has Sharpie markers. And we're going to do Zentangle on it. And I said, "Really? I like doing Zentangle. I have a couple of books and I've done some of it. I haven't done any on camera. I might have to fit that in somewhere sometime too, because that is a lot of fun. Sometime I will have to do that. Maybe in June when I'm not doing any color alongs. There's an idea. Zentangle in June. Anyway, so that's, I think she said May 9th. It's on a Wednesday night at 6:30, and I said, okay, so I signed up for that. That should be a lot of fun. What else did they say? I don't know. I was the only one in there. When I went in, two guys came out, so they were quiet. And it was getting close to, yeah, because I got there at 4:30, and they closed between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. for dinner time. So a lot of people had already left. But the librarian and the other two women that worked there, like, yep, sign this up. And I said, okay. And I said, I'll be back on Tuesday mornings when summer starts to bring the boys for story time, because I took them last summer, but Carson does speech on Tuesday mornings, but now his schedule runs as a preschooler. So when school is not in session, he doesn't have speech therapy. So I'll be able to take them back to the library on Tuesday mornings for story time because Carson loves it. Blake was a baby. He doesn't, I don't even know. Did we go last summer? Or the summer before? I think it was last summer. His Blake wasn't walking yet. And I don't know. I don't remember. Anyways, he was too heavy for me to carry around, so I stopped taking them to the library. But we will be going again on Tuesday mornings, and Carson can take out a couple books if he wants, or Blake, and they don't really like me to sit and read, so I'm hoping maybe that'll help. But you all have to let me know what you're coloring, what you're reading, what you're drinking. What was the question of the day? Oh, Trudy's question of the day was, have you ever broken any bones in your body? I have not broken anything, but I have done a lot of damage to my body. I have sprained my ankles so many times as a kid. I have stubbed my toes so many times. I slammed my car door on one of my fingers. I have fallen twice. I've fallen 3 times. The first time I fell on my right knee. The second time I fell and I ended up with cellulitis in my left leg. And then my birthday in 2015, Daenerys was only a couple months old, and it was snowing really bad out, and it was like midnight, and she wanted to go potty. Well, I had her on a leash, and I went to go down the steps on the porch, and I miscalculated where I stepped, and I fell on my shoulder and dislocated it. And let me tell you, that was the strangest experience in my life. I must have knocked myself out for a couple of seconds because I came to, and I remember looking at my fingers, but they didn't quite match how I was feeling, and I would wiggle them, and I'm going, that's not my hand, that's not my hand. So I went to stand up, and I was in a ton of pain, so I had to hold my arm up, and I went in the house, and I was screaming for Scott and Justin, because it's midnight, they're sleeping. I had let go of the leash, so I didn't know where the puppy took off to, but she came right back to me. So I ended up going to the hospital, and Scott's like, you know what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to put the shoulder back. I thought my arm was broke. We thought my arm was broken, but I got an x-ray done, and the technician says, well, what did you do? And I explained to her, and she says, do you know how many people come in here because of their dogs and walking them? I'm like, really? I said, she's just a little puppy, but I miscalculated. So they said, it's not broken, it's just dislocated. And I said, oh, shit. Because when you see them, they jack your shoulder up against the wall, or they pop it and you can hear it go back into place and people scream. And I'm dreading this. So the doctor on duty says, you need to trust me, you won't have any pain. And I'm thinking, I'm in so much pain now. I was dreading putting my shoulder back, so Scott was in the room with me, and the doctor says, I'm going to have you lay on your stomach on the bed and dangle your arm down. He says, you're going to do all the work and put it back into place. I'm thinking, oh my God. So I'm laying there, and he's jiggling my arm around, and he says, relax, make it fall asleep, just keep letting your hand just dangle. And he'd kind of move my arm around a little bit, and all of a sudden he goes, we're done, it's back into place. And I'm like, really? And Scott's cringing because he's waiting for me to let out this screech. Pain was like instant gone. He says, you did all the work. He says, I just kind of moved it around a little bit. He says, what they show on TV, that's not how you do it. And I said, I guess not. So, I mean, it was sore, but I wasn't in pain. I was in so much pain. So, yeah, and then I had to wear a sling for like 6 weeks, and I had to go to physical therapy. So, maybe a broken bone would have been better. I don't know, but it's my left shoulder, so I am very susceptible now to dislocating it again, so I'm not allowed to do any movement like this with my left arm. I just have to be careful with it. So I try not to lift heavy items with this arm, which I can't anyways. I have problems with my elbow if I lift heavy. But no, never broken a bone. I'm surprised. So that's the question of the day. And that's my story. So what is your story? Thank you all for watching another Tea Time with Friday Reads and Colored Whips. And stay tuned next week for a new episode of this. Thank you all for subscribing, for liking, and for sharing. And I hope that I was informative for coloring and that you check out any of the books I talked about. And I will talk to you later, my peepers. Bye-bye.